Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day. And today I'm actually coming to you with my third Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles draft. So in my video yesterday, I did a pick 2 draft, and I said then I would try a Premier draft and compare the two of them together. And that actually happened, but two things got in the way of me posting that Premier draft. The first is that my client actually fully glitched out in the middle of the draft in a way I've never seen before. Seriously, a card started flying around the screen when I was just about to pick it. Then I ended up with a completely different card in my pool. So it caused me to pick a different card from the pack. And then it totally disconnected and I missed like 4 picks in a row. So at that point, I had no idea what my deck was. And I was just totally scrambling to catch up. Also because I don't know what the cards do yet. So then I ended up in a green-black deck. And the second thing that made me not post it is they were honestly some of the most boring games I've ever played, which was really disappointing because my first draft was super fun. My video yesterday, I was having a blast. But this deck, game 1, was 20 minutes long, and it was entirely just me against another green-black deck, each drawing a 1-for-1. I would draw a threat, they would draw an answer. They would draw a threat, I would draw an answer. We would both draw a land, and so on, repeat, for 20 minutes of us virtually staring at each other. And that's okay. Magic is a game with a lot of variance, and sometimes games are boring. But the next game was exactly the same thing. A green-black deck against a white-black deck, 20 minutes of us just staring at each other. So I'm really hoping that was a thing about me being a noob at this set and just getting my feet under me and my opponents also not really knowing what cards to look for. But it got me a little bit worried that maybe Premier Draft in Turtles suffers from some kind of low interaction problem with maybe not that much scrying or not that much surveilling and not that much playable card advantage. That if you don't see a bomb that ends the game early, you can just end up in very grindy board states. So we'll see, but it actually made me want to go back to pick 2 draft. So that's what I'm going to do today. So instead of posting that whole video for doing 2 or 40 minutes, I figured why not just summarize what I learned. You can get all the benefits of knowing what I know now without having to sit there for 40 minutes while I draw land after land after land. So let's get into it. Okay, so I did actually have Bebop and Rocksteady in that deck because I wanted to see what it was like. I didn't think that this card would be good, and it was kind of medium. It slightly outperformed my expectations in terms of how easy it is to activate. And I should say, on the face of it, by basic limited principles, you would not think that this is a good card usually. It would need a lot of support in order to be good. And I think the support might be there for it to sometimes be good. I would say there are edge cases in sealed where this thing is playable. But as a baseline, I would say you probably should not be pack 1, pick 1ing it. These 2 cards are each perfectly fine in their respective deck. I think I did not actually get to play Lord Dreg. This is actually the card I was trying to pick that zoomed all over the screen and didn't end up in my deck, so I actually don't know how good it is. This card, I'm not really sure how often you're going to be able to pay the cost to keep the card exiled, but I'm actually very curious. 3 mana for a white creature that exiles something typically has been very good. It looks very flexible because it can flicker the card, but you also can, under very restricted circumstances, straight up exile it like a jailer type of effect. But this does happen at the next end step. So this means you would need 7 mana for this to act as a jailer. But actually, I guess the card is gone forever after that if you do pay the full 7. So that could be good if you can afford the hefty cost. When this creature attacks, dinosaurs you control gain +1 flying. I'm in. I have no idea if there are dinosaurs. Okay, this is a red-white card. Okay, I'm in. Dinos tribal. The person who passed this to me knows they just passed me this mythic. Look, okay, how good actually is it? I'm saying I'm in because it seems super fun. How good actually is it? A 2/2 for 2. Imagine X is 0. 2/2 for 2. When it flying. When it attacks, your other dinos get +1/+1 and gain flying. When it enters, create X 2/2 white dino creature tokens. This is an unreal card. Can anyone say Dion from Final Fantasy? This card seems so good. Are all the mythics in this set just completely cracked? I'm sure I was not supposed to take this dino here, by the way. That was probably too much too soon. But wow, this card seems absolutely bonkers. I really want to play this card if possible. I really like April O'Neil. I do not like the Action News Crew very much. I mean, it's whatever, but I don't think that's a very good card. Kind of just want to see if I can corner Boros. Remember, in pick 2 draft, you kind of have to pick a lane and shove people out of it early. I think. I will say you also really need to follow signals. Having the white 2-drops. Okay, maybe actually take the 2-2-drops because I don't know for sure that I'm going to be red. And if I can just take a bunch of white 2-drops out of the pack, I think it makes it really hard for other people to be white. And we could very well end up sneaking at this rate because a bunch of cards could very well be black sneak cards. Having said that, this is a signal that blue-red is open, but I really don't want to give up on all of these white cards. I think I would only take it if I have a good chance of getting into the some kind of Jeskai deck, and I don't really know if that's an option. So I think I'll take the white weenie and take a black card on the off chance that sneak is open. If a permanent left the battlefield is the green-black ability, and by the way, that's part of what makes it just not very good. I guess I'll take, yeah, this can be played for red, so I guess I'll take this one. I could technically play this in a sneak deck and technically play this in a Boros deck. When it enters, destroy a non-creature artifact. That's not going to be very good. But I'll take a 2/2 for 2. Maybe I'll take these two, actually. You really need to be in open colors. Okay, let's split the difference. I have no idea if I'm going to be red. Okay. A Boros land being in this pack makes me think that maybe Boros is indeed open. Another Mondo Gecko. I'm constantly being tempted by Mondo Geckos. Okay, so this is really a card for the artifacts deck. I kind of want to be white-black at this point. I don't know if Sneak is open for sure, but I kind of want to be white-black because I have this Koya and then a bunch of, I don't know, like a black 2/2. My black cards are pretty weak, so I guess I better keep the red cards invisible. I don't know, maybe white is clogged. Should I not be playing white? I just have so much investment in white, and I was past a white. I'm sure this is an incredible bomb that I was past pick 2. So someone decided not to spend 2 different packs, 2 different picks on that card, I mean. So maybe I'll take, what is this, 3 damage to a creature, and you can do some card selection. But these are for different decks, right? Is there any white card in this deck? Bot bashing time does not look good. Okay, maybe I'll take Tunnel Rat. I don't want Tunnel Rats. No, come on, I want Koya. The interface does confuse me a little bit. Okay, this card is unreal. When it deals combat damage to a player, I'm almost certainly just going to go for the white-black Signpost Uncommon and the white-black land. This is kind of silly, right? Because I just played white-black. But by the way, I did come to the conclusion during the run that was unrecordable that white-black is really strong. I think this is the color pair to beat. I actually haven't seen blue-red yet, but I think I've seen everything else. And far and away, white-black is what impressed me the most. I'm a little concerned that this set may be as unbalanced as the other small set that they've made was, but I have no real basis for saying that yet. It remains to be seen. I actually think maybe rather than taking the white-black land, maybe I'll just take Squirrelinoids. And because that is a really, really good sneak card. Yeah, green-black is open, but I kind of think green-black is just bad. Is that possible? Okay, Reach Trample. It can't attack or block unless its power is 6 or greater. Sack another artifact, draw a card. Oh, I want to play around with that. I mean, I'm not going to have artifacts in this deck very much. So, okay, maybe I'm supposed to now pivot back towards the red deck with these cards being open. Gains Death Touch, and when it dies, bring it back. Okay, maybe I want when another creature enters. I don't know. I really want to try out Technodrome if I possibly can get enough artifacts. So this I could play in Boros. It would give me an artifact? No, that's not very good. Okay, so it looks like Boros is actually just way more open than Sneak. I'm not really wanting to play the 2/4 for 4. That's typically a bad stat line in Limited. So pulling us into black is not really that much. I feel like maybe white was just not open here. So I'll try taking these artifact cards and see if maybe we can go in more of a artifact inspired direction. Oh, this is a bit of a train wreck, isn't it? Okay, I'll take the Mondo Gecko. Yeah, this is really hard. Okay, I guess I didn't read the signals quickly enough. I'm figuring out how to make good picks in pick 2 draft. Okay, so I'll take maybe this is an artifact, and I just got the red-blue Signpost Uncommon. But yeah, it's very clear that the lane that I was in is not open. So we're going to have to do an emergency pivot here. Emergency pivot time. Let's see. Okay. I could take neutrinos and still just try to be white-red. Let's see if that's a possibility. So neutrino says, when another creature you control enters, they get +2/+4. When they attack, exile another creature that you own, then bring it back, tapped and attacking. And then I could take like April O'Neil or something. I do still think... So by the way, Northwind Avatar... Okay, I don't think we're supposed to pivot to blue-red. I also don't think that Northwind Avatar is really a limited card. So I think my best bet now is to just say, look, red looked really open. So let's try pivoting blue-red, or white-red, I mean. I really don't want to give up on white after I invested so many picks in it, even though it unfortunately kind of seems like it is not open. But the thing is, that was mainly from the left, right? So we're really hoping... Sorry, that was confusing. That was mainly from the left, yeah? So we're really hoping that from the right, white is going to be open. Here are 2 white 2-drops. That's at least something. The artifact deck was wide open, but I just don't really know this set enough to have identified that in time, unfortunately. But that's okay. That's how it goes. And now we're basically just trying to draft a creature-dense deck with a very good curve. And if we can have just a million 2-drops, yeah, white is actually open. 4 legendary creatures with different names, yeah. Although there are a lot of legendary creatures. Wow, that's so interesting. This is factor fiction for legendary creature tutoring. I've never thought of such a thing. Okay, but I'm happy to see this signpost common in Boros here. That is good news for me. And then we can get 2 different, essentially 2-drops for our colors. To cast an artifact spell, yeah, that's a little bit rough, but I do have some artifacts, right? You're an artifact, these 2 are artifacts. So we're getting some maybe crossover power, but I'd rather have both of these, I think, than the Eastwind Avatar. I just don't have 2/4 for 4 as a very good card, especially in an aggro deck. I am very worried about my low amount of interaction. I mean, I'm worried about my deck in general. This was definitely a draft to learn from, not a draft to emulate. Okay, so here, let's see, I can bounce an artifact. Just take the 2 cards that are playable in my colors. I really don't think I want that many. Well, it does have 3 power. That's kind of nice. So I think that one I probably want to play the 2 cyclers. It's possible I just cut this and play 15 lands, and then maybe I cut 2 of these, or even more. I'm 1 card short if I do that, or 16 lands, I mean, sorry. Then I'm 2 cards short. So maybe I do play the nobodies. The thing is, those get really hard to play. The double red pips get hard to meet. How often am I going to be able to sacrifice another artifact to draw a card? I bet this card has such a high ceiling. It's just that I was not in the right lane for it. Yeah, I guess I way overreacted to the Triceraton commander. Unfortunately, that card turned out to be a red herring. Although I think the person to my left was not in red. Okay, so I'm going to cut this, cut that silly little O2, play this, and play 17 lands. And we're just going to try to curve out and win. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, I mean, this looks like Boros aggro to me. It's kind of funny, my Boros aggro brain is a little bit rusty because there was no Boros aggro in Lorwyn. So I'm having to think back to like, yeah, how do you do that exactly? How do you build a Boros aggro deck? It was never exactly my specialty. April O'Neil is really much more for sneak, but unfortunately someone else at our table was clearly playing the sneak deck. I think I want to put this on the bottom, and I probably do want to draw a land next turn. That sounds good. But I don't think that... Maybe the 4-drop would have been a good draw right after, because I could do something for 3 and then play that on 4. Okay, actually, maybe I should have done that. Now that I think about it, I should have kept it on top. Oh, killing April O'Neil is really rough. Getting card selection, too. Yeah. Okay, well... I'll go ahead and play Master Foundry. I really wish that I had ways of activating this. The blue-red artifacts deck looks sweet. I really want to get into that one. And unfortunately, this was definitely the draft where I should have done it. But okay, General Trag seems awesome. And I was a little distracted during the draft, so I didn't really pay attention to how good this is. This is a good card. This is a good card with so many incidental artifacts going around. Yeah, this is a good card. So very happy to have these guys. I feel like maybe there was one moment when I did not pick one, and that's probably a mistake. But okay, I'll go ahead and play the EPF point squad. I'm really curious about this card, by the way. When another creature enters, you can pay life equal to its power, and if you do, you basically permanently double its power and add a bunch of toughness. Seems like it could be really good, right? So this becomes a 4/4. I tried to play that card last time, but my deck was just so bad it didn't really go anywhere. But okay, so this guy gets +1/+1. Next, no attacks end. So next turn, I should be able to general trag April. So they're in Grixis, some kind of Grixis control build. That seems totally sweet. Oh, and then they can keep making bigger creatures. Yeah, that's cool of them. So I'll definitely go ahead and Mouser attack April if she attacks, for sure. All right. Cannot draw a land, but hey, maybe this will find me a land. I could have activated my artifact ability. Oh, wait. Oh, no. I misplayed. I forgot this could cast an artifact spell. Okay, obviously I should have done that. Well, I will probably keep that on top so that I can play Zog and put the lower impact card on the bottom. And we're just in a classic board stall situation. So they can sacrifice their Mouser Foundry and get another 2/2 and kill Purple Dragon Punks. That's another reason to keep the land on top, although I don't think that they will. 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to you. Okay. Yeah, that's annoying. That is annoying. Okay, but we'll see if they attack. We will see if they attack. All right. So I can just go ahead and double block, right? The other thing, actually, I think I do want to do this. It's a little wasteful because they could get a 1/0 here if they have a... Well, no, they would need a removal spell, so it would just be a 1/1 is all. And they cannot pop their Mouser Foundry. They don't have the mana for that. All right, so we take out April. That feels good. And then I will play a General Trag, pop my Mouser Foundry. Actually, it's very possible I just pop my 1/1. To be honest, I think that's what I do, because here I can sacrifice this to deal 3 damage to a creature. So let's sack the 1/1, even though I don't get a 1/1 back this way. And then I will go ahead and attack with both, because I'm supposedly an aggro deck. April can be blocked. Yep, that's right. This does not have power 3 or greater. All right. Turn to you. All right, gaining some life. That's good. I always like to see these not have synergy when my opponent is sacrificing food. Wow, this is awesome art. Good job, Nicholas Gregory. That's such a cool concept. All right, yes, playing the General Trag did let them kill something good, but I mean, you know, now I have reach, trample. That guy can't block. Not that that really matters. In with the punks, and I'll just pass. Keep this card in my hand. I can't remember. I don't think I took that Manhole Missile, so I don't think having cards in hand lets me do card selection. There is so much 1/1 in this set. The games go so long. So long. So you return nothing. Oh, you return my creature. You can return an opponent's creature. Oh, that's cool. This is a new variant on Mana War. I know that I saw one of these, but I just didn't. I didn't have time to really figure out what it does. All right, well, hopefully this breaks us out of the 1/1 paradigm, and I can start attacking, but we'll see what they top decked. Yeah, it's interesting. Was this just a small black splash, or are they actually between 3 different colors? Well, I'll definitely block, and they clearly drew something combat relevant, but I'm happy to just get that out of their hand. No? Okay, maybe they drew a bigger creature. Another 1/1 removal spell. Yeah, is this set just boring? I hesitate to say it, but is it just boring? Like, every event that I play feels like it devolves into this, like, really slow 1/1 grind fest. I had a lot of fun playing the Sneak deck, though. Maybe that's the secret. Just draft Sneak. All right, so we got a Rock Soldier. This is only to target creature. Just go in with both and pass. 4, 5, 6, actually, I do play it because then it's lethal, right? By playing this, I'm representing lethal, so I might as well play it and just put it to them. You would give me a 1-1. Okay, yeah, it still makes sense, right? To give me the 1-1. Okay, uneasy alliance. At least I managed to push the last little bit of damage. Yeah, it is cool that they reprinted this from Avatar, although I guess the creature type is what's different. And the art is a little different. There was no Mutant Ninja Turtle on that one. Very good. Okay, well, hey, we got there. I think maybe I do want to tweak a few things in my deck. Never mind, there's like nothing to change. All right, what's the payout? So another win and I'm actually basically even, right? I mean, Pick 2 draft really is like printing gems, seriously. It really is. With this prize structure. All right, well, on to the next one. All right, this is a perfectly fine hand, right? April O'Neil rescues me. I don't have any way of activating Koya. Well, it's just a flicker, right? Yeah. If you don't pay it, the thing comes back. So it's a flicker. In my green-black deck, I drafted a bunch of these, but then I just could not find the payoffs for it. Okay, I'll keep this. I mean, maybe I actually put a land on the bottom, because my hope is that I'm about to get another Scry 2 from Flickering April. Okay, now here's a question. What happens if Koya exiles a Koya? And then it comes back at the end step, exiles it. I guess it would be the next end step on the opponent's turn. I'm pretty sure that it would come back. Is that right? Maybe I should just do this right now so we can all learn what this rule is like. All right, this guy comes back in and I get another Scry. Oh, that's kind of cool. I think I'll put the tap land on the bottom. Makes sense to me. So if Koya flickers a Koya, at the beginning of the next end step, Koya comes back. It flickers a Koya, then you go to their turn, then at their end step, that Koya comes back and it flickers your Koya. I'm guessing that's how that works. Okay, reach is really annoying. When it enters, you gain 2, so I can't even flicker it. Oh, and Koya's legendary. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind. Never mind then. Fine. I see how it is. Okay, well, this guy cannot be blocked. So I'll go in with that one. Yeah, that's sad. Well, I'll go ahead and play the dragons and a news crew, I guess. I would not mind channeling the other one, though. Primordial Pachyderm, you say? Okay. Well, I guess they can attack with it, right? I hope they play a non-creature artifact. Okay. Not my dream artifact to rock soldiers, but sure. Sure. I think I do it. Do I trade April O'Neil? I don't really want to. Oh, you have something? 3 mana, you have something? That makes sense. If I'd had one... Oh, counter target spell and make a token. So they said their cheese pizza is really important. Well, now I have 1 attack, I guess. I guess that's something. Yeah, feels like the green stats kind of step on Boros aggro. Not that my deck is the best. It really did not work out well. Another Frog Butler. Hey, I love that card. I love that card. It's a basically a reprint, right? Was it in... Not Bloomburrow. What set was that in? Okay, well, I'll play EPF Point Squad. Now, do I play an Action News Crew? I don't think so. I really want pacifism. I think I'm basically just digging for pacifism, to be honest. I really want to cycle the Action News Crew. By the way, you can do this at instant speed. That's really important. You can discard it, put a counter on each creature at instant speed. Okay, the opponent just went to their turn. Yeah, plays their island. the counter spell on the splash was kind of a surprise, except when it hung for so long, I knew it was probably a counter spell because I didn't think they were going to like remove something or flash something in response. Nice lands from the opponents. Love the unhinged lands. Super cool. What a freaky piece of art that is. Is this a human getting +1/+1 from the mutagen by turning into a bird? Like it's a more powerful bird than a human? Or is the bird getting an upgrade into a human person? These are important questions. What do you do? Mill 2, draw 2, then discard 2. Kind of my nightmare. When it becomes a level 2, bring back 2 artifacts. So you could bring back a Chrome Dome. And then put 3 counters on an artifact. Yeah, I mean, I've lost this game, right? The only way for me to survive here is if I can draw pacifism really quickly. I don't know. I kind of think this set is just really boring. There's just so much sitting here. Maybe it's just because nobody knows the cards, so we're all playing really slowly. That could be part of it. But it just feels like you know, the first draft I did, I got the Dream Sneak deck, got my cracked Mythic in my opener hand, and so games were really fast and just smooth as butter. Easy 4-0. The second draft, though, I had a pretty bad deck, and it was just unbearably like playing. The games were like watching molasses roll down a hill. And then this draft, it's not as bad as the last one. My deck is much worse, actually. This is a way worse train wreck than I had last time. But even though I'm playing Boros aggro, you know, my opponent plays 3 Death Touchers, a 4/4, a Counterspell, and a Value Engine. And it's like, okay, well, I guess we're going to be here for a while. I don't think I'm winning, but I don't really want to concede at this point. My flyer is shut down because you have a 4/4 reach for 4 that also gains you life. Feels like this is a incredibly slow format. Or at least a format where most of the cards are comparable power, except a few power outliers that just take over the game and win. And so until someone draws one of those, you're just sitting there. So we'll see. This is not making me super enthusiastic about the format, but maybe it will get more fun from here. Okay, Mouser attack means maybe I can finally push a little bit of damage. So let's go ahead and play the EPF point squad. Also, the fact that this thing has legendary is really shutting me down a lot, right? If that did not have legendary, I could maybe do some stuff. No way are they going to block. I'm obviously representing a trick. Okay, well, that scares me. That means I have something that makes them not care about my trick. So they have 3 mana up. We'll see what they've got. But at least I have a... Youch. I have a... That was a legendary creature. And I have another one where that came from. Yeah, Bespoke Bow. Okay. They bounce one of my cards. Sure. It's a cool Sultai deck. But it's kind of all over the place, split across artifacts. I mean, the fact, though, that they have so much access to Death Touch at 2 mana and then a 4/4 reach for 4 that gains life kind of makes me question how you're supposed to build Boros aggro. Like, what was I supposed to do differently to be able to beat this? Okay. You attack me with an 8/7? Sure. Well, nothing I can do about that, really. I don't want to triple block. All right, I'll take that. What is its enters effect? Return something to its owner's hand. All right, let's go on to the next game. At least someone got stats on the board and push damage, but how long was that? Felt like a long game. Maybe it wasn't actually that long. It just felt long. Because I just got completely shut down. I guess I'm short on removal in my deck. That's one thing. Maybe I should play another large creature. I don't really want to play 4 rock soldiers, though. Yeah, I just don't have options because my draft was totally cut. All right, on to the next one. All right, I guess I keep this. Very weak hand. By the way, I think Action News Crew is a bad card. I took it because I wanted to have a really good curve in a Boros aggro deck. but I'm beginning to think 2/2 for 2 just lines up really badly in the format. And the ability, I don't know, maybe if you have the Dream Boros deck, it could be good. But if it's not super supported by having a really go wide strategy, then it's very low impact, especially with all the bounce. That felt really bad. That last game, my opponent was able to just bounce like all of my stuff. Okay, here we go. Triceraton Commander. I drew my Dion. So hey, maybe we'll get some of that reward that pulled us into white in the first place. Yeah, well, I definitely don't want to trade for this Tunnel Rats. Another grindy card. I don't want to be super negative, but I do not want to be super negative. But I will say there's a lot of things that slow down the game in this set. A Death Toucher, a 2/2 that you don't want to attack into. Feels like it's really hard to play Boros, actually. I'm having trouble seeing how Boros is going to emerge as a great archetype when it's full of these like cheap cards that just shut down the opponent's strategy. But we'll see. It's only day one. Could very well be wrong. So I'm definitely going to play EPF Point Squad. Sorry, for X = 1. Get some counters. So 2 counters. Sorry, play Triceraton Commander. Get 2 counters on the EPF Point Squad. And then I'll just attack with everything. Because I don't think they want to block with their Frog Butler, to be honest. I just don't think that's what's going to happen. So I'm guessing maybe Tunnel Rats blocks the News Crew and that's it. And I think this is okay. I mean, if they want to spend a lot of time flickering Tunnel Ratses. Oh, and you have a Tenderize. Okay. I mean, that's okay, right? I mean, I have Dion. I can be dealing 5 damage in the air. I have Pacifism. This guy's really fast if I can actually play it. And I don't have anything to sack to Trag, but I have a good amount in my deck to sack to it. Worst case scenario, next turn, April O'Neil to try to set up my other 2 cards. Is this fixing? Exile target creature and opponent controls. Whoa. And they exiled my token. They're afraid of me killing this. Wow. This is like the 4 mana 1 in MKM, if you remember it. There was 4 mana that fixes your lands. It's an enchantment on a land and it exiles. So this guy does go with this dinosaur, by the way, which is part of why I chose this line. Oh, it gets it even though it's not attacking. Yeah, so it fixed your colors and it exiled a creature until it left the battlefield and it enchanted a land. Yeah. And that was the best uncommon in MKM, but the color fixing did matter, but this is only 2 mana. This seems like an incredibly powerful card to me. Remember, for 4 mana with a little bit of splashing attached, it was the best card in MKM. Sorry, the best uncommon, I believe, in MKM. So when it attacks, dinosaurs you control other than this creature gain +1/+1 and flying until end of turn. This guy is a dinosaur. So I should be able to attack. Now this thing can gain reach until end of turn, but it has to tap in order to gain reach until end of turn. The question is, how likely is it that they can somehow make it gain reach? Because you would have to tap it for it to gain reach, right? If my understanding is correct, I should be able to just attack with these 2. And I won't be able to get blocked by a Flying Death Toucher. Okay, very nice. Yeah, Dion's pretty good, right? The best card in Final Fantasy, come back to life. And then I'll play an April O'Neil. And I will scry. And both of those can go straight to the bottom. I think my cat wants to leave. Okay, all right, perfect timing. Perfect timing to let the cat out of the room. All right, so we pretty much have made our gems back, if I'm not mistaken. Getting 800 back. I'm pretty sure it's a 900 gem entry, right? And we relearned the lesson that Dion is very good, just in his dinosaurs incarnation. So on to the next one. Let's see if we can't make a gem profit. That would be nice. And by the way, that game was not too grindy. It was appropriately paced, I would say. All right, pretty good hand. I mean, I can't avoid the feeling that Action News Crew is really bad, but maybe I just hold the Action News Crew. I think you're way happier to be cycling this one compared to, or channeling it compared to casting it. That's my guess. But I'm glad to have it because if I didn't have a 2-drop, I would be really sad. Let's go ahead and play this one. If the opponent does make a mutagen or do something, you know, we can turbo out our rock soldiers. I might just turbo it out no matter what, especially because I can pick it up with nobody later. So yeah, let's just go ahead and play it. I don't know if there's a counter spell here. That would be unfortunate. But it's not like we're counting on rock soldiers for our strategy. I just kind of like the... I just kind of like the idea of playing a 4-3 for 3, essentially, on turn 3. And if I need to pick it up, I can. Technodrome. Well, that's a creature, so rock soldiers would not have killed it anyways. All right, so why don't I go ahead and play April O'Neil. So it can block if you pump it. That's kind of interesting. That is kind of interesting. Sewer Valence Cam. Okay, this is awesome. Yeah, we're gonna see some awesome stuff happening here, aren't we? Okay, the neutrinos. When another creature you control enters, they get +1/+0. Oh, I can flicker this if need be. I can flicker this one if they start pumping it too much. I kind of like that. I quite like that. When another creature you control enters, they get +1/+0. When they attack, exile a creature you own, then return to the battlefield tapped and attacking, so I could kill their whatever Sewer Valence Cam by flickering my rock soldiers. Yeah, well, I'm very happy with these draws. These are 2 good draws. So I'll go ahead and play this, and then I think I do just play nobody. I like the idea of cycling the crew. I could push some damage here, but I don't think I need to. Return up to one other target artifact you control. I don't want to do that, clearly. So submit 0. Keep the neutrinos on top. All right. So now during my turn, they can sack the Sewer Valence Cam to the Technodrome. Oh, this card just absolutely hoses Boros. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. I can't, like, even the neutrinos can't attack through it, right? I guess if I play a bunch of extra creatures. That card absolutely hoses Boros. So sad. All right, play a land, go to combat. They'll tap my rock soldiers and I'll attack with April O'Neil. Primordial Pachyderm. Okay, I'm gonna be picking that card highly. Just shuts down my strategy. Yeah, they're playing the deck that I wish I were playing for sure. All right, in for 2. Flickering Technodrome definitely feels like too little too late at this point. Not really where I want to be. So maybe flickering the Pachyderm is a better approach. But we'll see what they do. I mean, they have 5 mana at their disposal now. Could be a lot. Okay, Ice Cream Kitty. Don't hate that. If they hold up 3 mana, that is counter mana. The Pachyderm is extremely unfortunate because even if I flicker it, they gain 2 life from that. I really want to save this Action News Crew. Okay, but if I play, yeah, if I play both creatures, at least then I could attack with neutrinos. When they attack, exile a creature you own, then return it to the battlefield. Okay, so here's an interesting line. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to play Koya. I'm going to go ahead and flicker Technodrome. Well, they're probably going to counter it, so I guess this whole line doesn't work. You have to try, though, right? The idea is play Koya, flicker the Technodrome. Then when I attack with neutrinos, this doesn't say, like, the creature doesn't have to have haste or, you know, not have summoning sickness. So I could use neutrinos. Oh, it's a forest cycler. I like that. So now the idea is I can use neutrinos to flicker Kaya and flicker the primordial pachyderm, right? Get 2 flickers out of that and get an extra attack trigger and an extra pump on neutrinos. So Technodrome could sacrifice Ice Cream Kitty if they want. I guess they're thinking about that. So here the question is, do I want to play the Action News Crew? And I think the answer is no. I'm just going to attack with everything. I could, you know, worry about something going wrong here, but I think it's time to just make my mark on this game. So when they attack, exile a creature you own, then bring it back tapped and attacking. Okay, so I found a really cool synergy here, right? This is a pretty sweet synergy. So I do this, and I will flicker that guy. And yeah, we're coming in for a good chunk of damage. They're going to gain 2 at the end of the turn. You can't kill anything here, right? Yeah, okay. So I get through for a nice bunch of damage, but then you do go up to 8 at the end of the turn, unfortunately. Both of your guys come back. You gain 2. But hey, we found a pretty cool line there. I'm happy with that. I feel like I learned something. Okay, if that's what comes out of this game, I learned. This feels more like normal Magic, right? The Pachyderm really is a tough one, but now I know. Draw 3 and put something in tapped. Yeah, I actually am not scared of that. All right, we got there. Yeah. The Pachyderm is one that I have to keep an eye out for, right? The fact that they can just have a 4/4 on turn 4, then you really, 4 damage becomes really important for aggro decks. And that makes me think, by the way, that this card that I didn't read very carefully, General Trag, seems like a very good card. A very good card indeed. Also note, like, Brilliance Unleashed. If there were any way that I could play that, it would be good. 5 damage to a creature for 6 mana, and also choose an artifact in your graveyard and bring it back. Yeah. I definitely was supposed to switch blue-red. Definitely. Let that be one lesson of this draft. And okay, if more games are like that last game, then no shade to the set. That was fun Magic. Even if my opponent had recovered and killed me, that was like a fun interactive game of Magic. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's too many lands, but this really rescues the hand, right? I can go April O'Neil into EPF Point Squad into Triceraton. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I'll definitely open with Dimension X, then April O'Neil. Play a Plains so that I don't accidentally forget to play enough Plains for Triceraton Commander. And I would rather play this for 4 and get a 4/3 EPF Point Squad than wait and make it bigger. All right, so we're opening with Dimension X, gain a life. Game lands are totally sweet, by the way. I like that they brought these back from Foundations, I guess, but with different names. Nice islands. Okay, Fugitive Droid. It can't be blocked if an artifact entered under your control. Counter a spell that targets an artifact or creature you control. Okay. I'll go ahead and play April O'Neil. Scry 2. I maybe don't want this second legendary April O'Neil, but Uneasy Alliance seems like a good draw. That seems like a good draw. I mean, if I draw another 4-drop, I guess I can save up for my Triceraton Commander if I want to. Okay, you're a 2/3. So you can block April O'Neil. It's a little unfortunate, but okay. Go ahead and play the Point Squad. Hopefully, if they have removal, they will spend it on my Point Squad. So this one can't be blocked if an artifact entered. We'll see how good this is. I assume if you have, like, things that trigger when something deals combat damage to an opponent, this would be better. 1/1 for 1 with unblockable is kind of like, well, okay, so I guess I'm on a 20-turn clock. Now I'm on a 10-turn clock. Hopefully my Boros aggro deck can present more of an issue for you than that. So I'm just going to try to land my Triceraton Commander and just go in, right? That is the simple plan. No point in saving this. X = 1. This is just ridiculous rate. This is just ridiculous rate. And then I will attack with the Point Squad. If they want to double block, that's their business. It gives them a lot of questions to answer. All right, and now we're just off to the races. So if they play a blocker, I can uneasy alliance it. If they play Pyroclasm, then I'm in trouble. All right, there you go. So I'm just gonna block. I'm just gonna pacifism that guy. Yeah, I feel like the 1/1s are a little bit too little too late. So now I could uneasy alliance the Mouser. No, that's just not a good idea. It was, you know, no bad ideas in a brainstorm. It was worth thinking about for a second, but no. No, just no reason to do that. The reason I was thinking is that I could then attack with April O'Neil and maybe I'm pushing enough damage, etc., that the extra attacker is worth it. But no, it's not even pushing extra damage because then Ray Phillip can just block the Triceraton commander. It is definitely time for me to draw some more action, because if they kill Triceraton commander, which they can do next turn, then I'm not even pushing damage in the air anymore. So more action is very important for me, and more lands is not important for me at all. But that is what I'm drawing. So let's see. Okay, so if I attack with the EPF point squad, I can exile. I think I attack with everything here. I think I attack with everything. Now the question is this only as a sorcery? Yes. So let's do this right now. That guy goes away. Now this guy attacks for 5. If I attack with April O'Neil, it can only be killed by double blocking. So yeah, it's an attack with everything situation. I get in 5, no matter what. Now they can bring 2 artifacts from their graveyard. I assume that's not going to happen. I assume, yeah, I don't think they're going to put 2 artifacts in the bin and then do that again. I think they're just going to Mouser Foundry me. All right. So we really clear the road on the ground. And now they can kill Triceraton commander. They pretty much have to. But then I do get to, well, I guess if I attack with the 2/2 and the 1/1, I'm not actually pushing damage. Okay, that is a very nice draw. So I will attack just to clear the road a little bit. And these are pretty much forced blocks. And then I'll go ahead and play Jenica. Get a 2/2, and now we have 3 lethal attackers. I guess I'll go ahead and play the land. I don't really see why not, I think. And then now they might be able to actually just bring back enough blockers. Oh, that's a good one. That's a very good one. Yeah, shooting Jenica. Okay. Okay. Ooh, okay then. All right, I have a very high opinion of Koya. So I will flicker, one of your creatures and in with the lethal attack. Yeah, all right. I cannot believe I actually, quote unquote, trophied with this deck. Wow, wow. That, again, felt more like normal Magic. Even if they'd won that game, that really felt more like normal Magic. So maybe green-black is just super grindy. Maybe I just didn't figure out how to draft it well, and that was the issue. Okay, again, can't believe that this was a trophy. I actually want to do a really quick deck tech so we can learn from this experience. Let me go back and look at the draft and see what I would do differently. Okay, so here's the 17 lands recording of my draft. Unfortunately, you can't see the picks, the cards that I did not pick in pack 1. I get past Triceraton Commander, which, seriously, if you don't know what I was talking about, if you look at the list of top rares in Final Fantasy, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. Okay, 9th top rare, but that was a big set. One of the very, very, very top rares in the set was this card, Dion. 3 and a white for a 3/3. During your turn, Dion and other knights you control have flying. When it enters, you make a 2/2. And then some exile thing that was good, but not really the thing that made it good. The thing that made it good was it's a 3/3 that makes a 2/2. That 2/2 gets flying, and other random creatures that you have also get flying. Which, by the way, if you haven't played Magic for a long time, a 1/1 that makes a 3/3 for 3 has been one of the best rares historically, and, you know, is put in all sorts of cubes and stuff. So this kind of high rate card is just historically amazing. You, for 4, can make 2 bodies, and then they're attacking for so much damage. I'm sure I would not have won anywhere near so many games if I hadn't had this Triceraton commander. If you replace this with, I don't know, the best card in this pack other than that, I in those 2 games where I drew this one, I'm sure I would not have won. Okay, so picking this made sense and was a strong signal about white. And then Zog was clearly wrong, and actually at the time I knew it was wrong. I don't know what else I should have done. Maybe, I don't know, what would you take out of this pack? This card looks good, actually. When it enters, attach it to a creature, it fights, and that creature gets +1/+1. Okay, I should have probably been on Novel Nunchaku. But having said that, green-white is not even a supported archetype in this format, right? So I probably want to wait a while before I'm messing around with all that. But okay, whatever. Maybe I should have taken the green card here. Next pick. Okay, we already get a signal that green-black is open, but green-black was so miserable to play. I didn't really want to do another green-black deck, but maybe I'm holding it against the color pair and I shouldn't. So just register that green-black is there. I do think Action News Crew is no good. It never felt good when I was playing it. Maybe Stamped by the Foot, although that kind of card usually is not that great. Maybe I should have just taken Dimension X here instead of the News Crew. Here we get a clear signal that blue-red is open with the uncommon. So I think maybe in an alternate world, I would have taken the white card, then a green-black card, then a blue-red card, and then I would be playing those against each other. I think I was right not to take Bebop. I just took some random cards here pretty much. I don't know about Lord Dreg, though. Maybe I was supposed to take Ragamuffin Raptor instead. And the Rock Soldiers seems like a little bit below rate as well, but now we're at the end of the pack. There's just nothing very good going on. Okay, General Trag turned out to be amazing. I probably should have taken this one, and I would have had a blue-red card, so I would be thinking about that, but I'm still looking at my Triceraton commander. Definitely Koya was awesome, and we found some really cool lines with Koya. Manhole Missile seems pretty good. Not like an amazing bomb, though. Also, I think Courier of Comestibles is really good, so maybe I should have taken this one as a flexible, like, maybe I'm green-black, maybe I'm green-white. Maybe I could have taken Koya and Courier and ended up in some kind of a Naya, Abzan space, green, black, white. Here, I remember I panicked on this pack. Another Courier of Comestibles. This card's really good. I don't know why I was overlooking it. I think I was looking a lot at this Karai, but again, if I'd taken Karai and Courier, I would have been Abzan. Brilliance Unleashed also could pull me into blue-red. And this Foot Headquarters, I thought hard about taking it. If I take this, it helps me be Abzan. If that's what I want to do, then another Tainted Treats. Yeah, destroy an artifact or creature, and maybe you get a food, and this is at instant speed. This is a good card. It's like Vindicate almost or something. Okay, and then Technodrome I really wanted to try out, but I even knew as I was taking it that I wouldn't get there. By the way, I love Divination that you can sneak in. Okay, but I was clearly supposed to take Tainted Treats, and then I don't know what else. Tainted Treats, and maybe just take the Putrid Palace and just say, okay, now I'm Abzan. Here, though, we start seeing really clear signal that we're supposed to be blue-red. Like, General Trag is really good, as I discovered. And then I'm not sure what else. Maybe the Zog, honestly. Maybe another Zog would have been better than the Mouser Foundry, especially when I already had the Dinos bomb. And then we wheeled Mondo Gecko. And I probably should have just taken the removal spell. Oh no, there's still a General Trag in here. We wheeled General Trag. Oh, I would have killed for another. So we could have had 3 General Trags. Okay, we could have just had a sickening blue-red deck, and then we wheel Brilliance Unleashed. But then we also wheel Tainted Treats. Well, that's going to happen at a 4-person table, right? 2 lanes are going to be open, and at this table, it was blue-red and green-black. And I was in neither one of them. So I needed to pick one of these, green-black or blue-red, and I would end up with a good deck. So we opened the Neutrinos, but we could also have played Michelangelo. I'm guessing this is pretty good. When it enters, make a mutagen token, and then add a +1. Yeah, okay, yeah, seems good. So, yeah, and Bespoke Bow goes in the Artifacts deck. Donatello, yeah, I mean, 3/4 for 4 tends not to be great. Drawing a card when it enters can be nice, though. And then I get a Donatello. Yeah. Okay, so I needed to just commit to either green-black or blue-red. But hey, I got lucky. Sometimes you get lucky. And trophied with a deck that I had no right trophying with. This did make me feel more positive about the format, just because the first game was pretty boring, but the game that I lost and the other 3 games that I won, I think, were all interesting. I think we had 1 boring game. I'm not sure that I said that exactly right. I think we had 1 boring game and a bunch of interesting ones. So, all right, I'll be back with another draft, but honestly, I think I'm just going to keep pick 2ing it. It just seems to play out better than the Premier Draft one did. Maybe I'll give Premier Draft another shot, especially if other people seem to be enjoying it, and let me know what you think. But honestly, I've done 2 pick 2 drafts, and they've both been pretty fun. One of them was really fun, and 1 Premier Draft, and it was really not good. So maybe another pick 2 draft tomorrow. Until then, have tons of fun playing Magic, and don't be afraid to splash.